Hi, Casey Dimon here with the TaxSaleAcademy.com, and in this video we're talking about doing site visits for vacant land coming up at tax sale auction. Now, a lot of people tend to overlook vacant land when it comes to doing the proper research or doing those site visits. Unfortunately, this can be a huge mistake. You know, while vacant land might be easier in the sense that there's not a whole lot of structural issues to worry about, you know, the house is not going to fall down, no broken windows, broken doors, mold, anything like that, there is still a lot of stuff you must do and a lot of things you need to research when it comes to vacant land. You know, you either need to do a site visit yourself, hire a scout as we teach in the academy, figure out some way to do this research, because if you don't, believe me, it can come back to haunt you and it'll bite you right in the butt. So let's talk about the 5 things you need to look for when you're doing your site visits for vacant land coming up at tax sale auction. The first one is the access. Is the property accessible? Every year I see it time and time again. Landlocked properties will come up for auction and somebody will bid on these properties thinking that they have access to a beautiful 40-acre tract when in reality they can't access that property. So you have to make sure it's accessible. Number 2, and this is something again I see time and time again, is elevation. Check the elevation of the property. You're going to see a lot of swampland property coming up at tax sale auction, a lot of wet properties. Make sure the property is high and dry and that there's not any wetlands or moist soil or anything like that. Number 3, check your ability to build on the piece of property. You know, it might require a site visit and a visit to the county, but if you can't build on the property, believe me, your value is going to drop tremendously. The only value that it has then is possibly to a neighbor, and it's possible they don't care if they buy it or not because they know nothing can ever be done with it, so they'll just leave it, and you'll be stuck with a piece of property that you can't build on. Number 4, you also have to look for content. What is on the property? You know, is there a lot of trees on it? Is it thickly wooded? You know, is there a lot of brush on it? Or even worse, is there old cars, old tires? Or possibly, is it the neighborhood dumping ground? Is it where everybody takes their weekly trash and just throws on your property? Because that is something that you're going to have to deal with sooner or later, or if you don't deal with it, you could be facing all sorts of civil or criminal fines if you were to purchase that property. And the 5th thing you need to look for here is check out the surrounding areas. Check out the neighbors on both sides. Check out the road that it fronts. You know, is it a decent area? Are there good schools nearby? Are there lakes, rivers, parks, anything like that? Any other amenities nearby? You know, golf courses, country club, all these things will help your value. So check out these surrounding areas and see if it either, you know, increases your value or possibly it could even decrease your value if it's in a bad area. So again, the 5 things to look for here when it comes to doing your site visits for vacant land coming out tax sale auctions is the access, elevation, your ability to build, the contents on that vacant land, and the surrounding areas. You know, there's a lot of money to be made investing in vacant land through tax sale auctions. So what I suggest you doing here is make sure you do all that research that you need to do. Don't skimp out on anything. Make sure your research is sufficient so you can make an informed decision. You know, throughout my career, I've made the majority of my money through tax sale investing, probably with these vacant land properties. You know, we're probably talking 60 to 70% of the properties that I purchased, even to this day, are vacant land. So there's a lot of money to be made here. Of course, there's a lot of money to be made in all sectors of tax sale investing, including the residential stuff and the commercial stuff. But vacant land lets you get in very cheaply, doesn't require a whole lot of capital, and you can make a lot of money again if you do the proper research. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos just like this one, head over to my website at the TaxSaleAcademy.com, which you can do by clicking the blue link right here next to my head. Again, head on over to the TaxSaleAcademy.com. Once you get there, download your free copy of my ebook, The Tax Sale Investing Blueprint, and you'll be on your way to a very successful tax sale investing career. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.